posted on the video too. So, all right, let's just class.
Yes.
All right, so as a reminder for everyone and those one view that I get always on my videos for this channel, okay, this channel gets one. Okay, I'm always happy with the one. Okay, my other channel gets a whole bunch more. I had someone from like you look at your statistics. I found people from like Kazakhstan or something. Like there is a spike in views in Kazakhstan on my channel. I'm like, all right, those are my homies right there. Okay, all right. So okay, so now the 9 weeks is coming up. So we're coming up to October 7th, which is the end of this quarter. I'm not accepting anything past that point. So the actual deadline is probably going to be that Tuesday. I will put it officially up here a little bit. Now, after school, if you want to do the retake on that test, like you don't like your score on that test, go back over the review. Review. If you guys actually look at the review and look at the test side by side, I'm not going to let you go. Okay? They are matching item by item. So like the same type of question, I just changed the numbers. So it's like same thing every time on every single one. That's how I make all my reviews and tests. So it should be the easiest thing to get an A on. You just have to go back and do the review. Same thing for the makeup. Okay? So for the multiple choice, that's the one that you can make up. For your response, you can't. So that means the highest score you can get on that is going to be 80%. Is that bad? No, 80% is still good, right? Okay, so there we go. All right, non-quadrantal angle, blah, blah, blah. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I hate trying to deal with all that because the math language, no one speaks. I don't have a degree in math. I kind of do, but I don't act like I do. So I try not to speak in math. Mathanese is only to talk to other math nerds. Normal people cannot understand what you're talking about. So my job is to translate this into, basic or just normal English. Or for some other people, got to speak in ratchet. Okay? So you got to make sure that you know what we're doing here. So it said find the exact value of cosine negative 240. Now, negative 240, is that between 0 and 360? No, it's not. All my angles should be between 0 and 360. They should be between 0 and 360. Yes? So is this one between 0 and 360? No. Now, what would I do to make it into be something between 0 and 360? Add 360 to this. Why would I add 360? Put Justin Bieber away. How dare you? Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay, my bad. Billy eyelash. Okay, put that away. That's gross. It makes me depressive just knowing you listen to that. All right, so I'm gonna add 360 because that is my coterminal. It's gonna give me the exact same spot, but my angle is gonna be between 0 and 360. So negative 240 plus 360 is gonna give me how much? 120. So my angle here is negative 240. This angle right here is going to be, is going to be 120. That's going to be 120 degrees. Now find the exact value of cosine 120. Now we did a couple things here. We know that this is going to be the angle that we're talking about. This is like the theta prime here. So this is the reference angle that I'm talking about. Kind of? Maybe? Remember how we said it's always going to be the closest to the x-axis? Remember this? Right off the x-axis there? Remember this? finding the reference angle, it's the one closest to the x-axis here? Yes? So yeah. Okay, good. So I'm hoping I'm not too crazy. So my angle over here is in what quadrant? Quadrant 2. So in quadrant 2, there was a formula, I just had it on the slide, to get my reference angle in quadrant 2. So go ahead, flip back in your slides right now. Before anyone answers anything, flip back in your slides. Look, put your finger on the formula for quadrant 2. Put your finger on it so I know that you're there. Put your finger on the formula for quadrant 2 so I know that you're there. Okay? Alright. Get it out of your nose and put it on the paper. Okay? Wipe the booger first. Thank you. Okay, so my formula is going to be what? 180 minus theta. And this is for to get the reference angle here, right? In this case right here, I found that my angle is going to be 120, isn't it? My angle, my theta is 120, and to get the reference angle, my theta prime would be 180 minus that, which is going to give me a grand total of 60. So 180 minus 120 is 60 degrees. So if that's 60, let's pretend like I paid attention last couple of days. What type of triangle is this going to be? If I know that one is 60, what's up here on the top? 30.
Oh, 30, 60, 90 triangle.
Yes, 30, 60, 90. So let's put in some values. The hypotenuse, the long leg, okay? The hypotenuse, that would be the radius in this case, right? Okay, what value are we going to use for that one? I gave it to you on the previous example. The hypotenuse is going to have what value? It would be 2n, but it's just going to be, in this case, it is just 2. Because, yeah, there we go. So this is going to be, so I'm going to plug in these values. This is 2. So now the short leg is going to be 1. And my long leg is? Rad 3. There we go, rad 3. But now, I got a slight issue. One of my answers that I just wrote on there is incorrect. I heard it? Why is it 1? It's what? It kind of is. What quadrant is this? It's -1 in quadrant 2, isn't it? In quadrant 2, the x direction is negative, isn't it? There we go. So I'm going to fix that right there. Bam! That's important. Now, in this case right here, we have some values. So from 60, I have opposite, adjacent, and hypotenuse. Or I also could say that I have the x, the y, and the r. Because they're all the same thing. Just different ways of doing it. It's asking for the exact value of cosine. And I used my reference angle to get this information. So cosine is always what? X over r, right? Or cosine is caught another hippie, right? So it would be adjacent, which is still my x value, isn't it? And hypotenuse, which is still my r value. Yes? So it's going to be -1 over cosine -240 I know we did a lot there. This is going to seem second nature after next couple chapters, because we're going to keep doing it over and over and over again to find all these, because you're going to know off the top of your head what is the cosine of 30 degrees, what is the cosine of 60, what is the cosine of 45, because you're going to keep doing them over and over again. We use it all year long. That's why we end up with a unit circle. It's so common. We have a unit circle for it, which is the standard numbers that we always have to plug in. Yes, no, maybe? Okay. So cosine of negative 240 is going to be negative 1/2. Tangent of 675. 675? I don't want to do 675. Why do I not? It's not between 0 and 360, so what am I going to do? Keep doing it until between 0 and 360. You only have to do it once? Okay, so do it. My homebrew. So it is 315. So basically from here all the way to here is 315. So that leaves me an angle in what quadrant? In quadrant 4. So now take the finger off the nose, and I'm going to go put it on my formula for quadrant 4. Put it on the formula for quadrant 4. Okay? You guys are going to keep referencing this for this. So in quadrant 4, I'm going to use 360 minus theta. And in this case, my theta is 315, right? So we get 45 degrees. So if that's 45 right there, what's on the other side? What's the other angle down here? All right, go find those. 45, 45, 90. We did those ones. 45, 45, 90. Is it in 2.1? Okay. 45, 45, 90. Yeah, give me the sides. One and one. Very good. 1, 1, and right 2. Because the two angles are 45 degrees, so the corresponding sides across from them are going to be the same. So 45, 45 are congruent, so that means across from them must also be congruent. So I got 1, 1, and rad 2. Very good. So now it's asking for tangent. What do we know tangent is? We know tangent is tripping on acid, or I could say that tangent of theta is always going to be, give me the x and y. Y over x. Y over x. So y over x. Now, there's something wrong on here. The y has to be negative, isn't it? So therefore, when I'm looking right here, this is in quadrant 4. So this is a negative 1 right here. That's important. So let's go ahead and fill this in now. So the y value is going to be tan of 675 degrees is negative 1 over 1, which is negative 1. You guys feel pretty good about this? Okay, so there's a reason why I kept having you reference the 45 and the 30, 60, 90. You're going to do these a lot. So you're automatically like doing it. If you do your homework enough, you're going to get this without even have to go back and look anymore. Because you're like, damn, I did that problem 14 times already just yesterday. So, let's keep going. How do you think we should do this one? Yeah, let's do the calculator. Now, there's a slight issue though. Your calculator is super smart, but you have to tell it correctly. So we're going to do this, and I'm going to show you how it has to look in the calculator. So please write this down the way it's going to look here, and your calculator has to look the same, because this is where your mistakes are going to be made. So it is going to be cosine, parentheses, 120 degrees, close, plus 2 sine. Now, the square right here, we write that in the notation because it means something different if you put it over the number. Okay, it means something different if you put it over the number, so that's why we always put it over here. But the calculator, it has to look like this. Parentheses, 60 degrees, close. Now, there has to be another parentheses around this, because you're squaring the whole sine like this. So it's going to look like this in your calculator with an extra set of parentheses. And then minus tangent. It's the same thing. So you're going to have an extra parentheses, 30 degrees, close. Now, again, and then the square goes out there. That's what your calculator has to look like. That's what it has to look like. So your parentheses are your friends. If you do this one correct, you could actually that's like 5 questions on the exam. Some crazy stuff. Okay, now I'll show you. So I know what cosine of 120 is. Did we just do cosine of 120? Yeah, we just did, kind of, didn't we? And we said it was what? Negative 1/2 plus 2 sine of 60. So that is bigger, so the y is bigger, so that's going to be rad 3 over 2, close, square, minus tangent and 30, so parentheses over here, tangent is y over x, so the y value is going to be 1/2 over rad 3 over 2, close, square. This is what you guys are going to end up doing, but I'm not going to make you guys do this until next unit when I give you the unit circle. Okay? So, I have negative 1/2, that's going to be 3 over 4, 3 over 4 times 2, 3 over 2, and that is going to be reciprocal 1 over rad 3, so 1 over 3, and so that's going to give me positive 1 minus 1/3 equals So eventually you guys are going to get to this point. I just wanted to show you that it is going to work out even if you do it by hand or calculator. But I want you guys learning the calculator right now. Yes? No? Maybe? Is this like mad, uber crazy, like ridiculousness? Or I could just plug it in my calculator? So calculator is your friend. Now food. Alright, I think that's it for our examples. Nope, is there? 5, 6, dang it. So I guess I gotta leave off there today. So, I will leave there. Don't forget, like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification button and support my channel. Buy stuff from my merch store.